Yeah.
where I'm like just able to relax,
Yeah.
and you're like going into your heaviest days like tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow is going to be from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. first round, probably. Maybe 2:30. We'll see. And then, yeah, we'll probably take an hour or two break, and then it's probably 4 to like 6 or 7, maybe 8, and then eat something, and then go to bed. It's gonna be a long day.
Like, are you even going to try fitting in watching the event, Night of Champions, or is it going to be like probably the next day?
Nah, it'll be. I'm gonna fit it in, like probably. I'm trying to do some stuff for you here. I got that sticky.
Oh, you saw, yeah, boom. We forgot to put the banner up. Welcome, everybody, to episode 198 of the Working Fans Podcast. I thought I wasn't going to be here this week, but the gym business is very busy, and they had to call AJ in. They can't do it without him.
Yeah, man. There was no way the bread business or the liquor business was going to be top priority Memorial Day weekend. With all these cookouts and everything, these motherfuckers had to get their fat asses to the gym, too.
I know, like, the reason is questionable, but we are here, and we are happy to once again talk about Night of Champions and whatever the fuck else is. Double or Nothing. I couldn't think of the name of it.
All right. Have you still not really watched any wrestling this week, too?
No, I've been tired as fuck. I've been working all week. Like, what you're seeing now is, like, just about me being able to start relaxing. Like, Dave, why don't you tell the people what time I set this studio up at?
1:45 a.m.
Got out of bed at 10 a.m. I probably woke up at, like, 8 a.m. I sent a couple texts early, but then I fell back asleep. Got up at, like, 10. I feel like shit, but excited for the wrestling this weekend because even though it's a busy work weekend for us 100%, for AJ maybe, we're still excited about these events, right? Like, Double or Nothing has to be my top event.
Oh, sure.
Night of Champions, very close second. And then I'll watch Battleground because it's on.
The thing with Night of Champions is it's a Saudi Arabia card, and typically we don't always get bigger things on these Saudi Arabia cards. But the tag title match is kind of interesting because you got Roman, who just typically doesn't lose, going in there after these other sets of titles. And it's like, what if? And they've built it up in a way that we don't really know what they're going to do. I'd say the Cody and Brock feud has been done well enough, too, where like, are they going to put Brock over and do this a third match? Or is it just more about getting Cody over? And then, you have the actual... what was that other third main event here? I'm blanking out there. It's a triple main event. I have to look at the card now. See, I'm already...
Why don't you pull up the card while I stall and talk about tomorrow night? If you are a fan of the More Perfect Union podcast, I'll be getting together with Greg Matusak and Kevin Kelton to talk about what we've been doing in our off time since the last episode, which I think we did like end of last year. What's that third main event? Oh, yeah, for that new title, which Night of Champions, I guess you got to make one.
Roman Reigns is the world champion. That's just the way it is,
And they're going to have the ladies in full body suits, so that always makes for a fun night. It's interesting to see how artful they get with their designs, but it's always like, it always looks weird. Like,
this is interesting, though. This is the first time I can remember we have 3 women's matches on a premium live event in Saudi Arabia. There's 3 of them.
Yeah, that's the most amount because it was like the first year they did 1.
Right.
I want to say last year.
And then they did 1.
Then it was 1. Yeah. But they've like ratcheted it up each year. You just get like 1 more added to it.
We got Belair versus Asuka, Natalya versus Ripley. And then probably the one that's not for the title might be the more interesting one. Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch.
All right. So you're going to see how bad my short-term memory is because I already forgot the first one. Well, so I'm going to say Ripley beats Natalya.
Sure.
Lynch versus Stratus. I'm going to say Stratus goes over.
Mm-hmm.
And then Asuka and Belair, that's Belair all day.
Yeah, that sounds right. I would agree with all that. I'll say Trish gets to win too, because I think this program is going to go for a little bit. Because I think this is something, they're going to extend with Becky, and you may even get Trish and Bianca out of this or something too.
Yeah, before we went on the air, we were talking a little bit about seeing Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia and just how culturally it looks like he's really taking it in. I think that is another interesting story. It's probably like a hard left turn after talking about all these ladies things, but it was something we talked about off camera, that just seeing he's able to take this in and be proud of his involvement in this is cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's got to be pretty cool for Kevin, too. That's his real life, best friend. And here they are in this moment after already headlining night one of WrestleMania together, winning the tag titles. And now they're taking on Roman and Solo in Saudi Arabia. And it's the first time Sammy's going to be welcome of Syrian descent, in Saudi Arabia. So a lot of cool things for these guys. It kind of makes me wonder, though, maybe I'm going to change my pick. I think maybe Kevin and Sammy actually do get the win, and maybe it's going to be a thing with a miscue with the Usos or something, and we'll continue the storyline that way.
Yeah, Sammy and Kevin. I mean, I could see maybe Roman taking that title, but I think more than likely Sammy and Kevin are going to retain, but there's going to be some kind of like screw job to the finish that gets it happening.
Yeah, I agree with that. And what about Cody and Brock? You see Cody going over? Or?
I think Brock takes this one, and then it leads to. They're not doing Hell in a Cell events anymore, are they?
Not events, no.
I see it leading to a Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam.
Could see that. And I know Mustafa Ali, he's got
he's getting murdered.
Yeah, murdered by Gunther. We'll just put that out there. And then I would say we both agree Seth Rollins is going to take the championship. Although we like AJ. But someone brought up a good point.
AJ, but yeah, Seth is more likely.
Yeah. Someone did bring up a good point, though. Seth's going to be on the movie set. So, but they've totally built this up for Seth to do this. They've been doing more video packages with Seth and creating that. Seth's going to be the man, Yeah,
he's the person they've picked before. And like AJ is just coming back. So like, I could see him coming back to a big title, but I think more than likely it's going to be Seth and, featuring him on the show. Maybe AJ will be like that first constant challenger back and forth.
Now, let's see here. Let's look at Double or Nothing. We got Double or Nothing up here.
This Double or Nothing preview is brought to you by W. Go to w.gg, use code FANSWORKING for 10% off. Got to get our plugs in there. If you use our code, that lets W know that you heard about them through us. And if you buy something, we just get a little bit. So you're kind of supporting the podcast through that. If you want to do it. Great energy drinks. Ask AJ about
it. He'll tell you all day. He got no jitters.
No. He's got no jitters because he ain't here. I'm not jittery. I'm more just exhausted.
Let's hit him up with it, man. Let's do it. We got 10 matches to preview and predict here. So.
Jesus Christ. This is a Tony Khan pay-per-view, so I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, we added a couple. Last week, we were like, you know what? We got to do it again, and we're going to get all of them. See if you change your mind. House of Black defended those prestigious Trios Championship against The Acclaim and your favorite, Daddy Ass, or as Red calls him, Ass Daddy or something.
All black all day.
Yeah.
That's AJ's motto.
Red too. All right, Adam Cole and Chris Jericho.
Who's in Adam Cole's corner?
Sabu.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
Is he a special enforcer or is he in his corner? Because from what I heard of the review, they said that like the graphic says special enforcer, but when they talked about it, they were talking about him as coming out in Cole's corner.
Yeah, he is the special enforcer. And I don't know
who comes out for Jericho then. Is there going to be somebody in response, like a Lance Storm maybe?
I think something will happen because Jericho's going to go over here, I think, because I think Jericho is going to end up having a match with CM Punk because I believe Punk is coming back now because we booked Chicago. Fans are chanting CM Punk already. Like, you got to do that. And I think Jericho has been rumored to be one of the guys that would be wrestling Punk. So I think you build him up.
Do you think Punk comes back at this show?
Yes, but we'll get to that at the end. But yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm interested to hear where you think it's coming up.
Oh, yeah. I got an idea. Well, yeah, we'll see. Maybe I don't know. I could be wrong. So Ethan Page, oh God, it's got to be a pre-show match. Ethan Page and the Guns versus the Hardys and Hook.
Who cares? I'm gonna say the Hardys and Hook.
Yeah, me too.
If that's not a buy-in match, then I'm amazed.
Jade Cargill versus Ty Valkyrie. Jade's gonna win. I gotta think we're saving up for something else.
I hope that's a good match. I have high hopes for it because Ty is great in the ring. Jade's coming along. I think this could be a spot that could really make her, though.
Blackpool Combat Club. We're talking Danielson. Well, I don't know. Interesting. Danielson, Moxley, Claudio, Rila, Yuta. All right, yeah, so it will be all four of them against the Hangman, Kenny Omega, and the Bucks. And this is an Anarchy in the Rules match. So there'll be
Anarchy in the arena. It's got to go to Blackpool Combat Club. I think it's going to be a spectacle of a match. They all are, but I think these guys are going to go like the extra. This is going to be the best one we've seen of these yet.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, what do we got here? Jamie Hayter, Tony Storm. I'd say we're keeping that title on Hayter.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I could see Storm taking it, but I think Hayter will most likely keep it.
And then I got Pete texting me, what's the route plan for tomorrow? Fans. What will I tell Pete?
What is the route plan for tomorrow? Like, breaking off a little bit, getting back a little more to the work talk.
Okay.
What kind of territory do you cover? Like,
okay, so I leave my house, and my warehouse is 40 minutes away. And then, hold on a second.
Let my man clear his throat. He's got potato dust all up in there.
On my mouth. I'm sick, you bitch. So for you local people, you understand it. So I'm leave the warehouse. I'll go from North Stonington to Brooklyn, Connecticut. That's about a almost hour drive. And then I'm going to have to shoot up to Putnam, which is another 20 minutes, to the Walmart up there, and then do the Stop and Shop and the Price Chopper all nearby. Then I'll hit Killingly, Stop and Shop. And then I'll do Big Y Danielson. These are all within 10, 15 minutes of each other. And then after Big Y, I got about a 30-minute drive to North Wyndham Walmart if I make it in time. If not, they're on lunch. I got to go to Stop and Shop Willimantic, BJ's Willimantic, Big Y Mansfield, circle back to North Wyndham Walmart. Then after that, we'll go to Bob's. This is all still pretty local. It's a busy area. And then we go to Highland Park out in Coventry, Connecticut, which is like another 15, 20 minutes from that. And then we would go home the first time, which is like another 50 minutes away. And, of course, we have to actually put in work while we're there. So this is going to be a while.
And will you be stopping for pizza at any point?
I've actually not had pizza in the last couple of weeks. That might sound like not a big deal for somebody. That's a huge deal for me. I planned on us getting pizza at Double or Nothing, and I feel like that was going to be my special time because I hadn't had pizza in a while. But I might get a slice tomorrow because we were talking about doing lunch but not making it too heavy. And there's a little place, Iliano's, up there in North Wyndham that serves slices. And I thought
I was wondering if you were bitching out and being like, guys, cauliflower pizza on Friday.
No.
We got vegan cheese, turkey pepperoni.
I'm doing turkey tacos tonight, but no, I'm not doing. I
Man,
hit
you're
the Spanish food place up a little more. Been getting that Spanish vegetable rice with a little bit of chicken. Been doing that.
pollo,
Yeah,
as
it's
they
good
call
shit. I
it.
got some good Spanish shit here. I've been learning. I love it. All
Yeah,
right,
you guys saw how
Mama
that.
Smith would be proud. Shout out, Mama Smith. Jamie Hayter, Blackpool. Oh, Blackjack Battle. Fucking shit. Blackjack Battle Royal. Orange Cassidy's defending the championship. I do not have the list of competitors. I will say somebody new is going to get in this thing and take the title from him, though.
Who do you see debuting?
Yeah, who's out there? I don't know. Maybe Jay White takes it.
Okay, yeah, he's fairly new. Good question. I'm going to say Orange Cassidy retains. There's going to be a debut. There's going to be a guest spot. Don't know who. Good question. Sabu.
Wardlow they'll keep the title on him. We already said this last week with Christian. This isn't going to change. Ladder match. I got to think Wardlow, though, they're not taking the TNT title off him yet.
Oh, yeah. Wardlow is definitely keeping it. It's going to be interesting to see how he does in a ladder match. But, because Christian, obviously, that's his specialty. But Wardlow, still new. How will he do in a ladder match? Is he too big for a ladder match?
I think Christian will be the guy who leads this match, is my guess.
Wardlow's probably been in a ladder match because I don't know if he was in one of those brass ring ones now that I mention it.
He was. He won. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. This one, I like this match. Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett. We can teach Jeff Jarrett, but he's still in great shape. He knows how to put good matches. Jarrett and Lethal versus FTR. FTR is going to get this done all day, though. They're not dropping the belts to Team TNA.
Yeah, where do you see Mark? I agree. Where do you see Mark Briscoe's involvement?
Something's going to happen where Lethal or somebody's going to get in his face, or Jarrett maybe, because he's not going to be involved in the cheating.
Yeah.
And then that's when Mark will end up siding with FTR and call it down the middle. And I think Mark and FTR are going to walk out together. And my guess is at some point they're going to challenge the House of Black for the 6-man titles.
Okay, so you see Mark and FTR being the more likely 6-man than Punk and FTR.
Right now.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
We'll see. And main event, MJF versus Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I said it before, say it again. MJF is going to walk out with that championship, but I think this time when this pay-per-view goes off, we get a tease. Maybe we hear the music, and we're going to know that CM Punk is on his way back. Will he be there live? Maybe, but I have a feeling it's going to be more of a tease, and it's going to be a situation where I think we want Punk's first time back will be on the new Collision show in Chicago.
Do you see Punk MJF as the first program they go into? Does he come out to challenge MJF, or does he just come out to announce his return?
I think it's going to be a tease, like the music and maybe the symbol, like with the straight edge, the fists and all that, and the lightning bolts. But I think it'll be a tease, and MJF gets kind of spooked. But and maybe they'll even, have some kind of announcement about him. But I don't think he's going to show up yet, and I think he'll show up at Collision. And I don't think MJF will be his first. I think that's a tease for what's to come down the road. I think it'll be either Jericho or maybe even there is rumors that Samoa Joe could be the first guy that Punk works with.
Okay, yeah, I'd be interested in any of that. Even if Punk, I hope when he comes back, he does some ROH shows.
I mean, yeah, it'd be nice if ROH got on a bigger platform, like an HBO Max, like we had hoped before. And you had guys like Punk and Joe on that show. Like, that would be a pretty cool thing, because now you're making ROH a little more must-watch, and you're trying to make the Saturday show must-watch, too. The only problem is you can make all these shows really good. At some point, as a human being, I got to tap out on some of this. Like at some point, I'm just going to keep up with one show. I can't devote all my attention to all this stuff all the time. You know what I mean? Like I can keep up with it. I can go check highlights and I can watch something, but at some point I can't literally sit down and watch every single moment of every show.
Yeah, like last night I got in, and while I was setting up the studio and doing other things, I had ROH on. But I mean, I watched 3-4 matches and then had to go to sleep. And that's like the first time in like 2 or 3 weeks that I watched it. So, I mean, it's nice that it's out there. I'm glad they're doing it. But yeah, if it were on like a bigger network, it'd be easier for them, because right now you're just going to those hardcore fans, but those hardcore fans have so much else to watch that it's like, will they necessarily even make time for it?
Yeah. Well, on that note, fans, I think you can tell we're tired. We've given all we can for you guys, but we're too late for 200.
Dave's got to rest up to get ready for Big Bread Day tomorrow. I'm coming off a couple big beer days, and you know who else is going to enjoy Memorial Day weekend?
Some short stories?
Vinny Barry.
Read about the Northern Wrestling Federation in the book presented by Russellville.com, The Pro Wrestling Vault, Volume 2. Hear the story of Roger Ruffin, the man who trained Carl Anderson, the Monster Abyss, Jordan Clearwater, Chris Harris, and Jillian Hall.
Plus 45 other short stories, including Jazz, Bobby Eaton, Kamala, Thunder Rosa, Mario Mancini, Scott Casey, PJ Black, Kerry Morton, Sal Renaro, Jeremiah Plunkett, Colby Carino, Bam Bam Malone, and many others.
Get your book today at Russellville.com. Russellville. It's where wrestling lives.